Chapter 30 Spirit Mother. Innate Remnant Realm. On top of a mountain peak. The center of the exit of some of the Aborigines to stop the outsiders, by the outsiders slaughtered, not long ago. The carefree valley was even snatched up and burned cleanly. The ferociousness of the extreme. Everywhere you go, kill, loot and burn everything. Ninth Prince is going to make a move. The man in black's eyes lit up excitedly. If the Ninth Duke makes a move, they will die for sure, the man in black excitedly said. Notify the demon-repelling flute team to come to our north and repel the outsiders into the carefree valley, the Ninth Duke coldly said. Yes, the man in black answered. The innate remnant realm, in the middle of a forest. Song King Shu was much better at the moment, after some treatment, although he was still a little weak. At least the discomfort in his body had all disappeared. The few Song Armor sect disciples next to him were almost completely wasted. The remaining dozens were even more lifeless from the previous explosion. Looking at the few disabled Song Armor sect disciples, Song King Shu was overcome with grief. Some regretted chasing after Guhai, but more than that, he hated Guhai. Many thanks to helmsman Meng Tai for saving my life, Song King Shu said gratefully. The group of people in front of Song King Shu was the gnarled bearded man, the Earth helmsman of the One Piece Hall, and a group of One Piece Hall disciples. Kill Guhai. If Guhai doesn't die, my heart is restless, Song King Shu said with a hateful voice. Meng Tai, however, smiled faintly and said, what helmsman Shui has done is indeed a bit too much. Drip 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 drip. Suddenly, a flute sound came from the forest in the distance. Meng Tai raised his eyebrows. With a loud bang, accompanied by a miserable scream, that person instantly crashed and flew back if he was a cannonball. Boom, a behemoth landed not far away and stomped on the man's body. Demon Wolf. Song King Shu's face changed. Instead, he saw a giant wolf that was nearly a zhong tall, with a hideous face, stepping on that person. The giant wolf was the one whose eyes were glowing red, looking at the group of people with a hideous face. Helmsman, save me! The man roared in terror. Sinful animal, don't dare! Meng Tai's eyes glared as he took out a long blade and slashed, a blade energy stabbing straight through from a long distance away. Roar! The demon wolf let out a roar, spitting out a ball of light in its mouth in general, crashing into the blade chi. Boom! With a loud bang, the blade chi and the ball of light instantly exploded and broke apart. Obviously the blade chi was too far apart. However, in this instant, a group of One Piece Hall disciples had already rushed up, each raising their swords to decapitate the demonic wolf and save their fellow disciples from the wolf's claws. Sinful beast, get out of the way! The crowd raised their swords to chop at this instant. From the forest, another huge figure suddenly rushed out, all in the shape of a giant wolf. Rumble! The crowd's rush was immediately knocked out. What? Song King Shu's face changed. Rumble! The number of demonic wolves was still increasing. In the blink of an eye, there were already 30 demonic wolves, and the number was still increasing. That first demonic wolf that rushed in suddenly opened its mouth and bit the person at its feet. Helmsman, help, Koching! The person was bitten in half in one bite and swallowed by the demonic wolf. Drip drip drip. As the flute sounded, the number of demonic wolves was still increasing. In the blink of an eye, there were already 50 of them. There were only a dozen people around Meng Tai, and this demonic wolf was still strengthening. Even if Meng Tai fought with each other, he had to weigh the gains and losses. Go, quickly! Meng Tai's face changed and said, Senior uncle, save me, save me! The few disabled disciples of the Song Armor sect who fell to the ground shrieked. Song King Shu looked at the group of wolves. His heart chilled, turned his head, and didn't even care about the group of master nephews. He fled towards the distance faster than the others. Survival can stimulate one's potential, At this moment, the previous injuries seemed to be unimportant. Now, there was only one thought: escape. Who? A group of people immediately fled towards the distance. Roar! The group of wolves chased after them. Senior uncle, save me, save me! A group of Song Lama sect disabled disciples screamed in despair. However, no one was able to save them at this moment, as the running demonic wolves carved them up one bite at a time. The pack of wolves chased off into the distance, and at the back of the group of wolves, there were 2 giant wolves, and on each of the giant wolves stood a man in black. One of them was playing a flute, commanding the group of wolves in general. The 9th prince ordered to surround, but not kill them, expel them into the carefree valley, and let them enjoy boundless despair before abusing them. Another man in black said, I know, these few are just pacifying the pack of wolves, so that they can escape faster. I will slowly drive them there. The flute player answered, Carefree Valley. Gu Hai asked Master Ren Sheng for advice on the 3 souls and 7 spirits. Master Mercy Life had a good view of Gu Hai and knew everything. This little snake used to live here. I guess you guys came here for the spirit spring instead. Master Ruishek suddenly laughed. It is so. Gu Hai nodded his head and admitted. Old Man Guanqi has that ability to range it, Grandmaster Ren Chen explained. Chen Chonchen was stunned. Grandmaster, please, Gu Hai smiled. Grandmaster Ruisheng nodded. Along with Master Ruisheng, the crowd slowly stepped into the cave. The cave was very long, and soon the crowd arrived at the deepest part, a hall-like area with a night pearl hanging on the surrounding wall, illuminating the interior. Sealed inside the cave, there is only one exit. In the center, there are 3 round pools. The pools are some pebbles. The pool water has a hint of blue light. Chen Chonchen probed his hand and touched the edge of one of the pools, and immediately his face rejoiced and said, Indeed it is a spiritual spring. Yun Gong, this pool will release blue light once a year, and every time the Valley Master dips into it, the blue light disappears, Xiaoru said. That's because the aura has entered the flesh, Chen Chonchen said with some impatience. Master Ruisheng, however, looked at the pool with a slight frown. This blue light is watery aura. Once a year, every move of Old Man Chess Watchers would not be without a purpose, although he perished. But this spring must still have a deeper meaning, Grandmaster Ruisheng said in a deep voice. Oh, ancient helmsman, why don't you try it first? Master Ruishek smiled at Gu Hai. Gu Hai nodded and did not refuse. Putting down Xiaoru, he stepped into one of the pools of blue light. Slowly sitting down on his knees, he silently looked into the true dragon innate technique. Buzz, steeply, Gu Hai felt a huge aura in the water, as if it was drilling into his body from his own pores. This speed, I don't know how many times faster than absorbing aura from the air. The rolling aura went straight to the Danshan. Why is there a purple light on the surface of Ngong's body? Xiaoru said in surprise. Isn't this watery aura? How is it purple light? Chen Chonchen also said blankly. The purple light on Gu Hai's body surface entered his body, while the blue light in the pool was getting more and more prevalent in general. Grandmaster Ruisheng also looked at Gu Hai in surprise. Master, what's wrong? Gu Hai was puzzled. Violet light. This is the Spirit Mother. Grandmaster Ruisheng was astonished. What Spirit Mother? The crowd looked at Grandmaster Ruisheng in puzzlement. The most primitive aura is called Spirit Mother. A portion of Spirit Mother is mixed with water chi and transformed into watery spirit chi, which is diluted into 100 times 1,000 times, adulterated with earth aura. It transforms into earthy aura, adulterated with whatever breath, diluted into whatever aura. But how come you only absorb Spirit Mother? What kind of gong method are you using? Grandmaster Ren Sheng was surprised. Gu Hai was slightly stunned and didn't hide it, telling Grandmaster Ruisheng about the bumps in his cultivation. External gong. No wonder. No wonder. No wonder. No wonder your absorption of aura is only 1% of others. Even in the past, when you broke through to the innate realm. It cost so many spirit stones. So it turns out that in your body, you only absorb primordial aura, because what you practice is external. The initial origin of true chi is the purest spirit mother pressed out of your flesh, and what you absorb in the future can only be spirit mother. Master Ruisheng came to a sudden realization in general and looked towards Gu Hai. A trace of envy flashed in his eyes. Master, this physique of mine, is it good or bad? Gu Hai asked curiously. It's good and bad. Bad in the sense that cultivation is tough and difficult. Spirit mother is scarce. It's hard to find 1 out of 100 spiritual chi, destining you to have a tough time cultivating. The good thing is that your foundation is stronger than anyone else, and I now finally understand why he scrapped his cultivation back then and resumed external cultivation. Grandmaster Rensheng sighed. Oh, who? Gu Hai was surprised that there was someone else like himself. The father of your hall, master of the One Piece Hall, Grandmaster Ruishek said with a solemn expression. Oh, Long Wanqing's father. Gu Hai's expression twitched. Long Wanqing? What? Isn't the hall master of the first grade hall her mother? Long Wanqing's grandfather practiced external martial arts back then. Just how did Long Wanqing become the hall master? Master Rensheng was surprised. It seems like the hall master's mother has passed away, but we came here to look for the unborn. I wonder if Grandmaster has ever heard of it. Gu Hai immediately asked. Gu Hai nodded. In the pool, as Gu Hai absorbed the spirit mother's chi, it was as if there was an endless influx of spirit chi from a small hole at the bottom of the pool that led to an underground spring. Good, don't worry, Grandmaster. Gu Hai nodded. Master Ruisheng nodded, turning over his hand. The Zen staff in his hand suddenly disappeared. Slowly stepping into a small pool, he put his hands together and sat on his knees, leaving only his head outside the water, gently closing his eyes and not moving a muscle. Chen Tronchen, Gao Xianzi, you to occupy one pool. Xiaoru and I have one pool. Just take this aura to heal. Gu Hai commanded. Yes, helmsman. Chen Tronchen was a bit impatient. Wait. Gu Hai suddenly called out. Chen Tronchen, you and Gao Xianzi go out and hide the cave entrance. Gu Hai commanded. Right? Almost forgot. Chen Tronchen instantly laughed. The two of them quickly went to the cave entrance, erasing the footprints around them and filling the place of the cave entrance with a large number of charred and withered branches to prevent outsiders from discovering the abnormality of this place. Apart from Master Ruisheng and his clothes sitting in the pool, Gu Hai, Gao Xianzi, and Chen Tronchen all removed their outer garments, leaving only their blasphemous trousers, and bathed in the spiritual spring on their knees. Xiaoru seemed to be extremely happy with the watery aura, and now swam beside Gu Hai, desperately absorbing the blue aura. For a while, the cave was silent. Everyone was receiving the baptism of the spiritual spring. Outside the cave, the carefree valley also entered a state of silence, but the silence outside the cave didn't last long. About 3 hours later, help, demonic beast, help, senior brother, run, quick, the demonic beasts are coming after us. So many demonic beasts. No. So the demonic beasts are not trying to kill us. This is driving us here. Why are they driving us here? It's over. It's over. It's this valley. They are here to take revenge. Helper or they are here to take revenge. In the valley, there was a series of shrieks. Countless demonic beasts drove away, driving the outsiders who had intruded into the northern part of the innate remnant realm here. And in the midst of the panic, the multitude of outsiders who had gone on a killing spree here in the past once again met up. A kind of great panic pervaded everyone's hearts.